Hey everyone, so I'm doing something today that I might come to regret, but I think in the end it'll all be worth it. And that is I'm planting even more dahlias in containers. Now, why I say I might regret it is if you just watched one of my most recent videos, you can see I already have 6 dahlias that are in grow bags that are currently sitting in a shower. And I like to start my dahlias in containers in April, whether I'm moving them inside to pre-sprout them or whether I'm actually planting them up for the first time, just to give them a head start so that I can have blooms earlier than I normally would, just planting them straight into the pot after our last frost. So right now we are about mid to late April, which again, way too early to keep dahlias outside. They really like nighttime temps like above 60 degrees. So I will usually keep my dahlias out once I can keep my tomatoes out. But when I get them started this early, it means that I have to find a space for them inside. Now today it is nice and warm, perfect temperature for dahlias, but it is gonna drop back down to like normal springtime temps. So I'm gonna plant them up outside, find a place to store them inside, and actually just keeping them somewhere until they sprout isn't too much of an issue. It's when they do sprout and they need light that I have to figure out where to put all my seedlings that I haven't moved out, the 6 dahlias in the grow bags, assuming they sprout, and the 4 that I'm going to plant in containers today. But you know what? We will worry about that problem when it gets here. So let me show you what I'm going to plant and what I'm going to plant them in, and then we will actually get them all potted up. So I get my dahlia tubers from Gethsemane Garden Center in Chicago. Now I will say, one dahlia was definitely mislabeled from whoever the grower is that sends these out from last year, and then I think another one was mislabeled, and that was the first dahlia I ever grew, which was labeled as Penhill watermelon, but looked a lot paler, and the petals are not kind of as wispy as this box shows, or this bag shows. So I saw that they had them again this year, and I wanted to go ahead and try to plant them to see if they look the exact same as my original Penhill watermelon, which I'll put in a clip, which I hope I have, so you can see kind of how different it is from what this one looks like. So we'll see if the Penhill watermelon still looks the same or if it does look different, but I have 2 of these, so there's 2 in each of these bags. And then the other one is completely new to me in my garden, and that is the lilac thyme. Now these are both dinner plate dahlias, so the flowers are going to be large. I love them so much. And I will have 4 new dahlias total. If all of the ones sprout from over winter, I will have 10 total. That'll by far be the most I've ever had in my garden. I have space for them outside. Again, it's just kind of the inside that I am worried about. Now, as far as containers, I am switching things up a bit. So all of the dahlias I've ever grown successfully have been in grow bags. I think the reason it worked out so well is because in the past I've lost dahlias due to too much moisture, and obviously grow bags are very porous. They're going to be the containers that dry out the fastest. So I don't think I've ever lost anything from too much moisture in a grow bag. It seems like it'd almost be impossible. But this time, I wanted something that looked a little bit prettier. So for as much as I love grow bags and how well they do in my garden, they aren't the prettiest to look at, especially because I have beige 7-gallon ones for all my dahlias and they show dirt really easily. So what I did this year is I got 4 plastic pots from Home Depot that I think still look pretty, and I am going to plant the 4 dahlias in them. Now, I had to drill 3 drainage holes in the bottom. It came with a spot to drill 1, but because again I've lost some in the past from too much moisture, I wanted to do 3 holes just to be safe. So I drilled 3 holes myself in here. I got 2 of each type of container, and I'll put the same variety in the same container type. So this one is round. It looks bigger on camera. I'd say it's about 14 inches in diameter. And then the other one is square. This one is about 12 inches in diameter, and that's really the minimum I'll go for container size for dahlias, especially dinner plate dahlias. You want to make sure you give them enough room. And same thing here, I drilled the 3 holes in the bottom. So those are the containers. What I will do now is I will show you, because I know kind of where their permanent place is going to be in the garden, even though I'm going to store them inside for probably about a month. I'll show you where the pots are going to go. We will get them planted up, and then we will get them moved inside somewhere. So I always like to grow my dahlias along this back wall. This is where I've grown them the last 2 years. Now my brown pots here are going to be moved. They're just over here for now, but I'm basically going to have the square pot here, a round pot here, and then on the other side of this bed, I'm going to have the exact same thing. So round pot, square pot, and again, the rhubarb there and the potato sacks are going to be moved at some point. So first I'll show you in more detail how I plant up one of the dahlia tubers, then we'll do the exact same process for the other three, get everything planted and stored somewhere to sprout. So what I'm basically going to do is fill about half of this container with potting soil, put in an inch thick layer of compost, mix that together, put the tuber in there, sprinkle in some bulb tone, and then cover with about another inch or 2 inches of soil. And last year I think I watered them in, but what I've seen this year is that people don't water them in, so I'm going to skip that step for now, especially storing them inside, and we'll wait until they sprout to give them their first watering. But let's go ahead and get the first one potted up. So halfway with the potting soil, then I'll add the inch of compost and mix it in. And I'm going to do the Penhill watermelon in the round pots. So this is interesting. I just opened the 2 bags and I wanted to show you the difference between the 2 I got. There are growth points though. So there's this one, and then there's this one. So this one is a lot larger. So we'll kind of see how they grow. So I'm going to do the larger one, I think, first. And you want to make sure that you're putting the stem up, which should be hopefully easy to see. You can also see the stem there for the smaller one. But I'm just going to lay this right there. Do a sprinkle of bulb tone, about 1.5 teaspoons, once I find the bag. So 1.5 teaspoons, just eyeballing around the outer rim. And then cover with a couple more inches of potting soil. And we have 1 dahlia, all planted up. So here are all 4 of the new dahlias, all potted up and ready for the season. So I definitely didn't think I would be this sweaty so early in the garden season, but it does feel good to have those in the pots. I think I'm actually going to leave them out here for the rest of the day. I'll probably move them in once the sun starts to go down, because I think it's kind of still the time where we're warm enough during the day, but we're having pretty big drops between the daytime and the nighttime. So I am going to move them in for the night, and maybe I'll move them back out because I think we have nice weather the next couple days before they stay in until they're ready to be moved out permanently. I will show you where I'm going to move them, but I will say, if you have a container garden, however much soil you think you need, just double or triple it, because 1 bag of soil, I mean, I think I had 2 bags of soil and I went through about 1.5 for the 4 of those pots. But yeah, everything is now in there, ready to go. Let me take you inside and I'll show you where they're going to stay. So I've made space over in this empty corner for now. I have a plastic potting mat that I think I'm gonna set on the floor, just to protect the wood floors. I'm not gonna water them or anything in here. If I have to water them while they're inside, then I will do that, like setting them in the bathtub or the shower and giving them a drink and then letting them dry out before moving them back onto the tarp. But yeah, I think that's where they're gonna go before they sprout. After they sprout, you can see my seedlings are there outside. I'll give you a seedling update in a little bit. But before or after they sprout and they're ready for sun, I guess I'm just gonna kind of leave everything in front of this window. So that's gonna be everything for this video. I am very warm, so I'm gonna cool off for a bit inside, and obviously I will keep you updated on how many of the 10 dahlias that I have actually sprout again for this year. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Oh, I will also link down my previous dahlia videos below. You might have just a little bit more information since it was kind of me going through the entire process. So I'll link those down below and I will see you in the next one. Bye.